Welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. I'm Papa Pepper. I'm actually down in the root cellar, honestly. Working a ton lately on a lot of stuff, but also away from home often. So the videos have kind of slacked a little bit. I've got about 4, I think, in the works, but I wanted to put this one out because I just realized next year's garden season is going to allow me an opportunity to garden like I've never gardened before. And part of it is this root cellar here. Now, it's not just because I have somewhere to store stuff. That's got nothing to do with it. It's much more in depth than that. But also, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to dry cure your own meat. This is actually a deer I shot and never cooked this meat. Just dry cured it with some salt. This stuff is amazing. I've got some plans to show you guys some of that type of stuff in the future. And also, you got to see this. If you guys can see those crumbly little guys in my hand, that's like venison, like bacon bits. I seasoned this and then I smoked it and then I chopped it. This stuff is amazing. I would really love to be able to make my own venison bits each year and save them for the future. And now I can. But back to the business at hand. I am making progress on my root cellar. I actually have wild harvested game in here right now. I've got garden harvest in here right now. I've got canned goods from at least 4 different years in here, plus stuff from the store. And I also have 2 videos in the works to show off some of that progress. But look at things like this. Yeah. I didn't want that to be freezing at night and then getting warm during the day. So that deer is just hanging out in my root cellar. And I think this thing's going to be able to work as kind of almost like a walk-in cooler at times during hunting seasons and stuff like that. That is insane to me. But what recently happened is I started organizing this stuff. Now we've got chalkboard paint on the front of our racking system, which is very wise. I first saw that years ago and thought that's how we're going to do it. So I'd be able to write like here, jams, jellies 2023, because we've got some peach, some elderberry, there's also grape here. These are all like new things for us. Yeah, that's grape from our own grapes, elderberries from our own elderberries, peach from our own peaches. Like, this is going to be a lifestyle that of course we've dreamed of and we've worked towards, but to see it start reaping its harvest, what are we now, 8 years after we kind of went on our own personal exodus. Yeah, very exciting. But we also, besides the chalk, where we can mark things, we have these lips. If I just had it here, and this lip wasn't here, and we had a tremor, we felt them before, these could fall off onto the ground. If you have any type of pantry storage, I don't care how you do it, put some sort of lip or some sort of restraint so that your precious jars don't jump out. If there was a big shaking of the earth, a bomb blast could happen, a factory could blow up, somebody could smash into your building with a vehicle. That type of stuff happens. In fact, I thought someone hit our building when we felt a tremor from an earthquake. I thought somebody slammed in the outside of my vehicle, the outside of my house, and I came outside expecting to see a vehicle there, and that's not what it was. So I'd highly recommend have a lip on there. So we haven't really tapped into much of our capabilities. I can't show you the whole thing here. It's late at night. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I think it's so awesome. And if you have the capability to garden like we're going to garden next year, oh, please do. Some of you guys have probably done this before. This is our first year though, next year, because we've never been set up to actually do it. So what's happening is we're pulling out all sorts of stuff. We've got like dried stuff. Okay, that's peppers from this year that are dried. What else do we got? You know, dried nuts. Okay, so they're just in the jars to keep them safe, keep protected from the elements. Then we've got stuff Like these guys, these are chicken necks from 2020, okay? That's chicken necks from 2020. They're on our shelf, 2020 shelf. That's gonna get eaten up first. These guys here are my 2023. That was from my like Ozarks Hugel Mound, crazy peppers. I got jars, probably 25 jars right here of pickled peppers, okay? So I know that that's there. Over on this side, what do I got? Oh, this is 2021 sucker or carp sucker. So that's canned sucker from 2021. As I work my way through my canned fish, 2021 is gonna be one of the years I eat first. The oldest stuff, right? And then over here, you know, this is stuff from 2022. So we're pulling it out of our house, right? And we're organizing it by years. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. We're organizing it by varieties. That makes a lot of sense. But what I'm going to be able to do then is fill this whole thing in. When it's hidden under my daughter's beds, under my son's beds, under my couch, in the cupboard, under my bed, in my shower closet I made some storage in one of my showers. Pretty interesting video on that. But we weren't using it, so why not use it? So we set up to use. But then what I'm able to do is once I get it all out here, I'm going to be able to see it. When it's hidden 6, 7 different places, I can't see it. I don't know how much of anything we have. So here I can organize it. I can see what we have, and what I can begin to do is begin to take inventory. See, this is some of our pickled noodle beans. Some of the green noodle beans, I haven't grown those in a while. These are 2020s here. And it's got the purple noodle beans in there too. But I don't have much for pickled noodle beans. I can guarantee it. We like eating them. This jar will be eaten soon. So next year, I'm going to be able to look in here and be like, you know what? I need more pickled noodle beans. Plant a bunch of extra noodle beans. If I have a ton of salsa, here's some 2020 salsa. I've got salsa from this year too. You know, my salsa verde, green ghost salsa. Here's some spicy stuff, tomato based from 2020, 2023. So this gets eaten first. But then I check my salsa inventory because I'll be able to see it. And then I'll be able to say, okay, you know, we've got a ton of salsa. We don't really need to grow stuff for salsa this year. We can grow our stuff, but not a bunch of stuff for the purpose of salsa. Or maybe it'll be looking at my, these are technically pickles, okay? They're just not made from cucumbers, they're made from snake gourds, my top garden plant. So you can actually sit there and turn snake gourds into pickles. You really wouldn't know the difference. You really can't pick them out of a police lineup compared to a cucumber pickle. It's about the same thing. It's really good, but I'll be able to tell if I've got a big supply or if I have something that's lacking. And of course, gardening's hit or miss some years. Some years you'll have stuff that does amazing. Some years you'll have stuff that does very poor. But if you've got a really amazing, year of something, put up a bunch of it, then you don't need to focus as much on that the next year. So I'm going to actually be able to take an inventory, see what I have tons of, see what I'm missing out on, see what I have a good supply, see what I have a lacking supply, see what's not in my supply. If I want a bunch of pasta sauce, boy, I don't really have pasta sauce stored. Then I'll plant a bunch of tomatoes and stuff for pasta sauce. If I don't have a bunch of stuff for, pickles, if I don't have a bunch stored, then I'll plant a bunch of cucumbers. And if they don't work out, I'll plant a bunch of snake gourds too. And I'll make sure to up our supply. You think about something like the fish, right? I know there's some, here we go. I showed you there was sucker from 2021 over there. This is carp from 2022. It tastes just like tuna. Tastes just like salmon. It's amazing. But if I get a giant supply of this, it's one of those hobbies where I'm not going to stop bow fishing. And if I bow fish, I'm going to can it. I'm going to smoke it. I'm going to use it. And if I got it canned and I've already got a massive supply, well, then I'll be taking some of these and being like, hey, you got some of those. Let's trade some jars. That way we keep the same amount of jars. I'll give you some of my stuff. You give me some of your stuff and do that type of thing. So my life is changing so much right now. Most likely, some of you guys have a pantry that you keep rather stocked and organized. Most likely you guys have a certain amount of on-hand stuff you want, and then you rotate through it and you realize when it's low and you replenish it. We would like to do that just in our house. There's such limited space. For a while this has been huge for me to get this going. Now we have it going, and it's a functional storm shelter pretty much right now too, and a functional root cellar, but I need to finish it, work on the doors, things like that. This is such an awesome game changer for me. You think about, I'm drying meat right now. I'm salt curing it. I'm taking stuff and just having it where it's shelf stable. That's huge for me. Somewhere to hang my deer on my own property. That's huge for me. This is amazing. Might cut this up tomorrow, and if not, then it'll be fine here for a couple more days because it doesn't get hot during the day and it doesn't freeze during the night. It stays in here like a refrigerator, and that is insane, and it's awesome, and it's a huge blessing. So we're finally at that level where we are going to be able to store things. We're going to be able to keep track of things. We're going to be able to garden based on supply. That hasn't happened before. Like I said, some of you guys probably lived that life. We haven't, so now we finally get to, and we're very excited to be able to do that. Just wanted to let you guys know we're doing well. Things are great. We're making a lot of progress. We're learning life skills that we've dreamed of forever. And with each day, we get one step closer to being, better set up for the future. Each day is one day that progress is made, skills are added, our relationships are just developed and strengthened in the Word daily, just loving every moment of this. You guys have no idea how much I'm thrilled by life, that I just get to participate. I mean, the jar of peaches over there, the chicken necks, all sorts of stuff. This is giblets. Man, we've got our own giblets. See that? Yeah, giblets. So that's the gizzards that we cut up from our chickens. That's so good with gravy. I grew up, the best gravy on the mashed potatoes had giblets in it. It was awesome. Showed up at Thanksgiving a couple other times throughout the year, but now we can have it at will. Like, I love that. I got more meat chickens to process right now too. I love that. Might try to see if one of the little peppers can shoot their first deer tomorrow. I love that. I've got 4 this year. This one's a small one. But I got 4 already this year. We can shoot 6 in the state, which is huge. And I never max out my limit, but it's awesome to be able to have all these different ways. There's canned venison. Yeah, canned venison too. My lady does so good with this stuff. If you guys saw, we had a video on canning venison too. If you don't have those life skills, now's the time to get them. I love it. And our children get to learn as we learn in our late 30s and early 40s. Our children get to learn. Our oldest right now is 13. They get to learn as they're growing. And that's huge. But I didn't realize what a game changer it was going to be. Sometimes you do things because you think they make sense, and then you realize at a deeper level how awesome it actually is and how much of a benefit it's actually going to be to you. So that's where we're at now. Just wanted to share that because it's new for us and put a video for you guys. Love you all. Miss you. We've got several in the works. I just gotta, get them done and get them out, and you guys can see some of the progress on here. Me and the family, the whole family involved, making our dreams come true. We'll see you next time. Papa out.